Arizona, so I was kind of shocked. But when I got it, man, it was just like I remember kicking everybody out the room, and I remember just sitting there with my eyes closed and just visualizing everything that I've been through, all the hard work that I went through, and I'm like, man, it finally happened. Like I'm finally here. I was so excited, so emotional. I was everything in one.
Man, one thing I wanted to ask is at Arizona, I mean, being tied, holding a record with the most interceptions in a postseason. I mean, how's that feeling like to be able to hold a franchise record over there at the Cardinals?
Oh man, it's good, man. You know, my first few years there, man, it was a blast. I had some great leaders in Adrian Wilson, Antrell Roll, and Darnell Dockett, but Antrell Roll really took me under his wing, man, and he really kept me focused, you know, because coming in young, you don't really know the game. You're just out there playing, eyes big, because you haven't seen them kind of crowds. You haven't seen that kind of electricity go through your body. So I'm like, man, but he always kept me grounded. He always kept me on the right path, man. So I give a lot of my credit to Antrell Roll.
Yeah. So what was it like playing with Larry Fitzgerald? And obviously he's still going at it.
Yeah,
one of the best receivers in the game, in my opinion, hands down. But what was it like playing with him? And what did you learn from him? Even though he was an offensive player, but what did you learn from him?
Oh, he taught me how to not my athletic ability only gonna get me so far. Because he's a guy he wasn't faster than me. He was, you know, he couldn't beat me to the ball coming out of his breaks, but he would always catch the ball. He had great body position. I used to always say, like, man, how does he just keep catching these passes on me? I usually break these up, but he taught me about body position, how a receiver can lean on you and things of that nature. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What happened?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
He taught me how to just really use my body and other things other than just my athletic ability and just being fast. So it was always competition. I always wanted to go against him, Anquan Bolden, and Steve Braxton. With Kurt Warner on it, I just knew if I could get my hands on the ball that day, it was a successful day for me.
Man, I talked to Larry over at the Super Bowl. Really humble guy. I mean, besides just the game, he has a lot of depth as his personality and his qualities. What does he tell you about life besides deeper than the game?
Man, to take care of your stuff. He's a very professional guy. When he walks in the stadium, walks out the stadium, he's very professional. And his off the field thing is to make sure you.
Uh-oh.
We lose him?
Oh, we lost him. Okay, hold on.
I think he was having connection issues.
I don't want to stop recording, but it's recording. So
you can stop it and you can pause it. Are you working on a PC?
Yeah. No, laptop.
You can.
Mac.
I'm pretty sure you can pause it. If you just press the record button, it'll pause.
No, it's okay. I'll let it go. I don't know what happened.
Okay. And we can talk about a lot just on his Arizona career.
Yeah.
He was in the Super Bowl his first year there, so that's crazy.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. It got kicked off Wi-Fi, but I'm back on.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what the heck just happened?
So we were talking about, I think, Larry and what he's taught you deeper than the game and, you know, the qualities that and you can learn from him.
And I think what he taught me on the field is good, but it's more so what's off the field because at the end of the day, you only can play football for so long, and you still have a life to live. And the way you carry yourself, the way you view, the way people view you, like when somebody asks you about tell me about Dominique Rodgers Cromartie, man. Your character, you always wanted to be good. So he taught me that part of the game. Just to see, even to this day, he's still going, and he's still the same guy, man. I mean, he's very focused and determined, and that's how he's able to last this long.
So I got to ask you this. obviously the Cardinals made a big move with getting DeAndre Hopkins. So
Yeah.
what do you think that will help Larry Fitzgerald? And he doesn't have, and then Kyle Murray has no excuse now. You have Larry Fitzgerald on one side and you have Hopkins on the other side. What do you think that offense will be?
That's tough, man, because usually when you go into a game plan, you only take one receiver out the game. So now you got to worry about two real big threats. So you got to kind of pick your poison on that one.
All right, staying here with Arizona, your first year there, you're in the Super Bowl. I mean, tell me about that Super Bowl game experience for you, what that did in your rookie year, and your best memory from that game. I know it wasn't a W at the end of the day, but, I mean, you're playing the Super Bowl. That's everyone's dream in your first year at the NFL. Tell me about your best memory of that day.
Oh, man, that whole week just leading up to the game, man, you can't even describe that feeling. You know, they tell you it's like a playoff game, but it's not, man. That game was very electrifying, man. And to be playing against the Steelers, I mean, I'll never forget the thought that I had going onto the field when them guys warmed up. I'd never seen a team that big in my life. Like, I done went through the whole season. I'm a young guy in the NFL. I'm like, okay, yeah, I belong. But when them Steelers hit I don't know, they just looked at 7 feet tall to me. They just looked real big. I don't know if it was from the emotions from the game, like the Super Bowl, like the last one, the one that count. But I just remember, dude, these some big guys out here. And my eyes were like, whoa. But after a few plays, I kind of settled in and just started to play.
Yeah, so I want to talk to you about was it tough leaving Arizona, and obviously you went to the Giants after that and signed a contract there. But was it tough leaving the Cardinals? And who was your other top teams during free agency, or did you always wanted to go to New York?
No, I didn't. That wasn't planned. That was just something that just happened. You know, leaving the Cardinals was sad because I did make a name out there, and it was unfortunate that I didn't just stay there. You know, I felt like I had the talents and the athletic ability to just stay on one team. Even though I know it's hard, but I felt like I should have never been on multiple teams. You know, and that's just my journey. You know, but I just stuck with it.
Okay, one question I wanted to ask. I know this is a tough one. I mean, you had a hit with the Eagles that was a little bit controversial. You get fined for that hit. Looking back on that day, I mean, that's kind of the game of football. But when you think about that hit that you had, I mean, what comes to mind? Are you in touch with the player who you had hit, and are you still talking to this day?
Nah, man. That's the game. You know, when you're in the game, your adrenaline rushing. You know, it's a 10 out of 10 chance I take that hit again. Because I'm just, it just you can't control that. You know, when you're right there, right at the moment, but you always check on the guy afterwards if he's okay and things of that nature. But it's kind of hard to really slow yourself and brace for a hit. You know, and sometimes it's out of your control. That was out of my control. You know, I apologize for it, and I kept moving.
Yeah, so what was it like playing for New York, playing underneath coach, I think it was Tom Coughlin, right, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what was it like playing underneath Tom Coughlin and learning from him and playing in that defense and obviously playing with Eli Manning?
Man, Coach Coughlin is one of the greats. You know, I think the best thing that he does as far as for his team and his players is he prepares you for life outside of football. So everything he do is sort of like a drill sergeant. Like all these clocks are set 5 minutes early. You're going to be on time. You're going to dress a certain way. You're going to act a certain way. And most people will see that as, oh, man, like hard coaching. But I understand that it's just preparing you for outside of football. And I think that besides him just being a great coach football-wise, I think he's more like a father figure, too, to young men.
All right, staying in New York, 2015, October 25th, you're getting 2 interceptions in the same game. Yeah. Man, what does that do for you mentally? How do you feed off that energy? I mean, you're picking someone off twice in the same game.
I'm not one of them guys that like big on stuff like that. You know, it don't get me high or low. I stay right here at all times. Okay. You know, because at any given point, I know that when them intercepts can turn the ball over my head for a touchdown. So I really always stay mental. I don't get too hyped, get too crunk. Like a lot of people say that about me. Like, man, you just do this and that. And you just walk around like you just chilling. It's like I don't get too high off it no more.
So I got what was the experience like playing for Denver and Philly? What was those experience like?
Philly was tough because we had a lot of pressure on us being called the dream team. We had a lot of guys traded in, picked up a lot of guys in free agency. We had like on paper we looked like all-star team. You know, and it didn't pan out. You know, Philly fans they brutal. You know what I mean? So it's the city love it, man. Have fun playing there. Still talk to a lot of guys from that team, you know, but the season didn't go as we planned. And Denver was fun. I mean, it ain't nothing to do but play football in Denver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ain't much to do it besides be old. And we went to the Super Bowl that year, so that year was definitely fun for me. You know, and I definitely remember the Denver days.
All right, one thing I want to talk about, I mean, right now, like every couple of years, we're having that conversation about the Washington Redskins name. You played for that team. At the time, were there any conversations while you were playing for that team? And what do you have to say about, you know, the potential racial slurs when people think about the Washington Redskins?
Yeah, I mean, going through camp, I think you had some fans outside of the fence walking around with that protest going on. But to be honest, bro, I never paid it no mind. You know what I mean? I'm just to play football. So it never really hit home to me to now how they're blowing it up and they're talking about it more. But while I was there, it wasn't being talked about like you seen it because it was outside protesting. But I never really like let it play on my mental.
Yeah. So now going to your Denver, actually, I want to talk to you about the Denver Broncos days also. Still, when you went to the Super Bowl, and what was it like playing alongside Chris Harris and Von Miller, obviously best defensive end, and then also playing with Peyton Manning, who took you all the way to the Super Bowl. What was that like?
Man, them memories that you know you can't get out of your heads. You know, playing with Chris. Chris is one of the smartest guys I know football wise. You know, Chris gonna be in the game. He gonna tell you, "Hey, Crow, they come here. They doing this. They doing that." And he be spot on, man. So he helped us jump a lot of plays that year. And you know, anytime Vaughn on the field, you know, he's a disruption by himself. You know, he a one man show. And just Peyton gonna guarantee you 11 games during the season. So you know, if you don't get to the Super Bowl, you're definitely getting to the playoffs. So all that was just a fun year, man. And we had a couple young guys too that I'm still in touch with, man. That became close friends, like Kayvon Webster. Man, I just remember me and him just tagging along with each other and just riding the year out together.
So I have a follow-up question though to Chris Harris. Were you surprised that he left to Denver and he signed with the Chargers?
Yeah, because I feel like some guys have not only the talent, but they have that character where they should be on one team. And when they establish themselves and make a name for themselves, it's hard to see those guys lead them team.
All right, one thing I wanted to ask about, I mean, the Broncos team that Nathan was just talking about, you got a lot of fun guys too, and Von Miller, I mean, really fun guy. Peyton Manning, I'm sure, fun guy as well.
Yeah.
I know from talking to Von, he's really cool. How much fun were those days in Denver? Like you said, you just get to play football there in Denver, but some of your teammates as well, really cool dudes.
It was real fun because a lot of guys, you know, they're serious when it's football, but you still know how to clown and act up a little bit. And we had that. We had some real guys that's gonna make you laugh, especially in meetings when it's joking time. But the one thing I liked that year, man, after every practice, one guy gets to pick a dance move, and the whole team have to like kind of follow you. So I never forget. Wes Walker came with like this little cowboy dance, man. That always stuck with me, man. I never forget that.
Hey, can you show us right now, or do you got one that you did that sticks with you that you can show us?
Oh, I did. It's a Florida dance, man. I actually stole it from Chris Johnson, and I had the whole team doing it. And like after every playoff game we won, coach was let me come in and at the end of the game, I come in and do the little dance and make everybody break it down. So we had some fun that year.
You want to do it for us now?
All right, I'm gonna show it to you.
All right.
Take your hands like this. Then I tell everybody to throw it in the air. When you throw it in the air, got to catch it and slam it down.
Okay. All right, well, you got crazy with it.
Yes, you got crazy with it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I want to talk about your inspiring family and what's it like to see your cousin Antonio Cromartie also play in the league. And like I said, I got the opportunity to interview him on my show, and that was a great opportunity for that. What was it like seeing your cousin play in the league, and also seeing his son playing football now, Antonio Cromartie Jr.?
Yeah, man, that's always a blessing. Anytime you got somebody that's done it before you, you can kind of call them and piggyback, and they can show you the way to do's or don'ts, and and how to carry yourself, and the career that he has. He always been somebody you want to look up to, like, man, cuz doing it. So you want to try to modern yourself after him, and I think that's what's going on now. Now we having a lot of family members going into the league, and we all playing corner and all having success. I think he started that.
All right, one thing I want to ask, I mean, being all over the place with all these different teams, even just traveling around the NFL, is there one city that sticks out to you that's like one of the coolest cities you've ever traveled to?
See, I get asked that a lot. Like, what favorite team? I don't have a favorite. Cause I'm the type of guy. I'm a fun guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a guy that's gonna have fun. So everywhere I go, I make the most of it. But Arizona and New York was some of the funnest times. I could say that.
How much do you wish your days at Oak? I know you're just there for a little bit, but how much do you wish that was in Las Vegas now?
Oh man, listen. I wish they were there when I was there. Because ain't nothing like Vegas, man. I know them.
Yeah.
That's fun times for them. That's
Yeah. So also Marcus Cromartie, is he your brother or who?
Cousin.
Cousin. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What was that like seeing him play in the league also with the 49ers?
Man, that's anytime you see your name on the back of a jersey, man, it's a great feeling. Like, if you had the opportunity to play each other, you can't get nobody else's jersey but theirs. You can't switch with nobody. You got to get your family jersey, man. And I think that's what it's all about, man. Everything you've been through, you get to swap jersey. It's just a great feeling.
Now, I know when you got a family member in the league with you, you got to be a competitive person with those brothers and cousins. So besides just the game of football, what sport do you guys really get competitive with? Is it any board games like basketball or pool or anything like that? Like, what do you guys really love to play together?
Definitely basketball and trash talking. We definitely love basketball, but I think it's a trash talking of who do this, who do that better. I'm faster. Yeah, I'm fast. This, I jump higher. I'm this type of athlete. It's the trash talking more than anything.
All
right. So my next question, obviously you had a stint with the Raiders, but were you? So when they moved to Vegas, did you want to be part of that team still?
Nah, I mean, as fun as that sounds, I had to move on. You know what I mean? My journey went elsewhere, so I just kept it moving.
So are you currently looking for another team, or are you done playing?
No, sir. I'm just chilling. I'm just always ready. I have teams reaching out, asking me am I working out, what I'm doing, but I'm just always ready. I don't, you know what I mean? I just be chilling.
All right, let me ask you this. What are your aspirations besides the game of football? Like, what are you looking to do in the future? Media, like what is it that you want to do, or something you wish you could do as a kid that you never really got a chance to pursue?
Shoot. Only thing I wanted to do as a kid was travel. Growing up, I didn't have the funds to do none of that. So now I just try to see the world as much as I can. But the thing that I'm most passionate about is kids. I went to school to be a guidance counselor. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. When I'm done, when it's all said and done, I'm going to either be a high school, middle school guidance counselor, or I'm going to be somewhat mentoring kids.
Hey, man, that's huge for especially me being a kid. I'm 13 years old. I know what it's like to meet a bunch of NFL players and sometimes get advice from them. That's huge. So hats off to you for wanting to do that.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I got some rapid-fire questions for you. You ready for this?
You say you got some who?
Rapid-fire questions.
Oh, rapid-fire questions?
Yeah. When did you start wearing those gold teeth?
All my life. All my life. But I can't get them permanent. I want a permanent because I'm a real live Floridian. I'm a real live Florida boy. So, I wanted the dreads but my mother would never let me do it. So she told me once I get of age, but she won't let me get gold teeth permanent now. So these are pull-outs.
Favorite food?
Spaghetti.
What do you like to do outside of, obviously you're done playing, but what do you like to do now?
I like to bowl, Netflix, and swim.
Who did you look up to when you were growing up in the NFL?
Merton Hanks played for the 49ers safety.
Your favorite, all right. So during the off days, did you guys party a lot or no?
Off days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a partier. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yes, sir.
So I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So what are your thoughts? Do you think we'll get Jamal Adams at some point?
No. You mean like this year?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think the Jets will let him go. Like the price is gonna be real high.
Thoughts on the Mahomes mega deal?
Oh yeah, he deserved it. I mean, he came in and he took the league by. He just wowed everybody, and you can see where the league is starting to go. And and then his hard work and what he's done paid off.
Hey, and I wanted to mention really quickly about Mahomes too. I mean, a lot of people don't know this. He has a really great heart. I know that money's going to be spent wisely and be given back. I talked to him last year at the Pro Bowl 2019. He wanted to start a foundation. He wanted to start a legacy. This year, he did that at the beginning of the year, and now look where he is. That money's going to a good place.
Yes, sir. You're right.
What advice would you give Cromartie's son, Antonio Cromartie Jr.?
To believe in itself wholeheartedly. It's gonna come a time where somebody gonna say you can't do this and that, but you got to have faith in yourself, and you got to my father always told me one thing about a Cromartie: nobody outworks a Cromartie, and and he had to instill that into his son and let him know they could only match your intensity, but they cannot outwork you. And I think that would make us last so long. Like, you're not gonna outwork us.
Mm-hmm. Favorite hip hop artist currently and old school?
Ooh, I'm biased. I told you I'm in Florida, so my favorite artist is Plies. I'm everything Florida. But if I had to pick outside of Florida, I'd say T.I.
Thoughts on Cam Newton going to the Patriots?
I mean, I think that's the best situation for him right now. For him to, if he's gonna reestablish himself, I think why not do it under the best coach to do it? And one thing I know about Belichick, he's gonna demand that out of him. And I know Cam has a chip on his shoulder, so the league better watch out this year.
Hey, one thing I wanted to do here is Nathan's thing is the rapid fire thing. One thing I always do on my show, I flip the switch, have the person I'm interviewing ask me a couple of questions. So Nathan, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but he's gonna ask both of us a couple of questions. You ready, man?
Okay. What made you guys want to get into this?
The podcast?
Yes, sir. The podcasting field.
Ooh, you want to start off first?
You can go first. Okay.
All right. So, for me, I do a separate podcast with my other friends, but I started this own thing at the start of the pandemic, actually, and it's really growing rapidly fast. I didn't expect this to happen, but it's growing. So that's but the other podcast I do with my other friends is on Zoom, and that's on hold right now. So we're doing our own things right now. So
yes, sir.
For me, I started off as a third or fourth grader wanting to inspire millions of kids that they can do anything they want. They don't have to wait till college or after that, and they really have a voice. And so I started off speaking. I went on the speaking circuit, talked to high school about anti-suicides, and I always saw the vision that kids have a bigger impact on high schoolers. Elementary and middle schoolers have a bigger impact on high schoolers than adults do. So I wanted to take that somewhere, and eventually I got an opportunity to cover one media event, kind of hit it off, did pretty well there. And unfortunately, I got declined for the organization I was applying for, which was Sports Illustrated for Kids. And I realized I could quit, or I could do something on my own and do something that's never really been done, which is be the first kid as a visible brand on national TV in sports. So I went off from there, and I've been trying to accomplish that for the last 2 years.
Nice. Do you guys just target football, or is it all sports?
For me, I target everything. I had sports analysts, female athletes, actors, actresses I had on already. And also I had basketball players, former football players, current. Obviously, your cousins was on here, and I just go around like everywhere. So. Yeah.
Hey man, I do everything as well. I've covered a little bit of NASCAR, a little bit of golf, 2 sports that I don't know a lot about, but hey, it's cool to learn new things and cover new things. Then a lot of NFL, talked to hundreds of players, Saquon, Patrick Mahomes, Deion Sanders, a lot of cool guys. And then NBA, Giannis, Zion, Derrick Rose, a couple of people there as well. And I mean, all the sports you can think of. And then I've gotten a little bit into entertainment. So I talked to Snoop Dogg last year at the Pro Bowl. Yeah. And then today I had on an actor. So just working to build up the resume.
Yes, sir. Nice. About it for me.
So the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses? Oh, actually, before the last thing, can you speak on the legacy of Kobe, his daughter, and Mama mentality?
I think he's an icon figure. Somebody like a Michael Jackson. Somebody that shocked the world. That everybody looks up to and respect. Game on and off the field, carried himself very well. Was in his kid's life, and just a great overall man.
Yeah, and the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers?
Yeah, that we truly appreciate you. In this time, day and age, man, the world is under a crisis right now, and for you to put yourself on the line, we truly willing to put themselves before others, and they do a great job of doing that, and I commend them for it.
Do you want to close it out, Vedant?
All right, y'all. This is Nitin Vedant Gupta from Golden Kid Media, and our guy Dominique Rodgers Cromartie. We're all checking out. Hey, thank you for joining us, man. You stay safe. Your family stays safe. Keep doing the work that you're doing, and like I always say, you pursue your dreams that you want to do besides the game of football, and continue to inspire people. That's huge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on, man. And I'll be posting this on all social media formats so people can see your story, and keep up the great work and stay safe. You and your family stay safe.
All right. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
All right.